We learned in 2017 that Billy Corgan actually bought the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, which in its heyday was professional wrestling. And when you are the #1 wrestling company in the entire universe, the man who holds the world title is the, well, greatest wrestler on the planet. And without that, titles like these, all of these, mean nothing. And that title that made every single one of these world titles, I mean the WWE Championship, I mean the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Ring of Honor World Title, all of those titles mean nothing without the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. I said worlds. Yes, there's an S after the D. Worlds. This has been a title that's been held by the greatest men in professional wrestling ever. If you were born in this era, even competing for the NWA World Heavyweight title means that you are one of the best ever. If you actually got an opportunity to hold this world title, that means you are actually the greatest wrestler on the planet. Men like Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Dory Funk, Luthez, and probably the most famous World Heavyweight Champion of all time, Ric Flair, define what that championship means. You are the best in-ring performer inside the ring, outside the ring, ever. And I would like to see anyone say that these guys aren't good at what they do, because you're just wrong. But the NWA slowly kind of just fell off a little bit, eventually merging with other wrestling companies like TNA is probably the best example. And the title kind of just felt like another belt. Just a belt. And in the past couple of years, the NWA has definitely felt like just nothing. Just nothing. Not at all. But in 2017, Billy Corgan, who at one point was trying to work with TNA, and they kind of just said, nah, nada, nope, adios. He spent his time and his effort and his money, and when they showed him the door, he walked into another because he bought the National Wrestling Alliance from Bruce Tarp. I might be saying that wrong. I'm sorry, Mr. Tarp. Probably still saying it wrong. I like your suit though. You have that going. It looks cool. And Billy Corgan promised that he was going to take the NWA and bring it to the heights that it once was. Or at least, you know, put it back on television. And so far, considering he only bought the company like this year, he's done a great job at it. Rejuvenating the NWA to a point that actually people are talking about it once again. And it's not really like the butt of a joke. Even starting up his own YouTube channel that you guys can actually go subscribe to. No one asked me to say this. I'm just saying it because I want to. I just really love what he's doing with this company. But their biggest thing was really taking the fact of who's the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion and trying to make sure that he feels like a world champion, rather than just taking the title off of him, put it on a younger guy that no one really knows. And I know you're probably wondering, I mean, he's also in the title of the video. If you clicked on it, you probably kind of know who he is, honestly. Who is the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion? That man is history teacher, 52-year-old veteran, Tim Storm. Tim Storm's been wrestling for like over 20 years. If you've been doing for something for at least 20 years, you're probably doing it right. I believe Tim Storm has had the title for like well over a year now, you know, just chilling with the belt, you know. And if you go on the YouTube channel, which I've really been like obsessed with for the past like week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, they put up like a mini documentary series called 10 Pounds of Gold. It's giving a lot of history of the NWA, a little history of Billy Corgan, and history of the world champion himself, Tim Storm. But he's currently the NWA World's, with an S, don't forget it, NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Can you substitute my class, please? My teacher is boring. I think a pro wrestler world champion definitely beats a Division III swimmer. Sorry if you're watching this, mister. I probably shouldn't say his name. I have a project due next week. So with that very long introduction, these are 5 wrestlers that Tim Storm should face for the NWA World's, don't forget the S, Heavyweight Championship. Number 5, Keith Lee. A lot of people may not even know who Keith Lee is. He's a very big, uprising professional wrestler this year, and he's been wrestling for a few years now. And if you don't know who he is, let me give you a little bit of rundown. Debuting in February 2005, Keith Lee, then known as Keith Payne, wrestled in PCW in Arlington, Texas, where in his first year of wrestling, he actually defeated current NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Tim Storm. And this is where we start connecting the dots. Almost 10 years after that, he would debut in Ring of Honor in 2015, teaming up with current ROH star Shane Taylor. They would face like everyone in Ring of Honor. I mean, like War Machine, the Briscoe brothers, in like a weird mix of a tag team of Colt Cabana and Dalton Castle. It's like, alright, until January 2017, where he actually signed with Evolve. Even while being signed to Evolve, he still wrestled in other places like, again, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Northeastern Wrestling, PWG The Crash, and WCPW. His first matches in Evolve were against Chris Hero, aka Cassius Ohno, Zack Sabre Jr., and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. And recently, back in October of this year at Evolve 94, he actually defeated Matt Riddle for the WWN Championship. But Keith Lee's able to adapt to any type of challenge that you put in front of him. And also with him being a champion that has a championship that could definitely use experience being on a really big stage against really big opponents. This will be a champion versus champion match, so it doesn't matter who loses, you still got your belt. This could easily be the main event of an Evolve show during WrestleMania weekend. Just bring it to Maryland, because like, I would love to see that. Number 4 is Terry Funk. I know you're probably thinking, like, isn't that guy, like, retired now? He did, and came back, and then retired again, and then came back, and retired again, and then came back, and he did that about 20 more times. If you're gonna do it, stay gone. Just stop coming back. At this point, a Terry Funk retirement is like a weekly event. So, like, does it really mean anything? Because he'll just be back next week to wrestle another match. So, like, yeah, who cares? Okay, goodbye. I don't remember the last time he retired, but he did come back in September and wrestle for, I think, Big Time Wrestling. To see a guy who's a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion himself face the current World Champion, and in terms of nostalgia killing wrestling, yeah, that's like, okay, why are we watching these old guys fight? But what does it do for the NWA? It makes you care, it makes you watch it. It will be a slow match, but who cares? These guys are like in their 50s. I mean, Terry Funk is like in his 70s. Like, he keeps retiring and coming back and leaving and coming back. Just stay gone, Terry. Or come back one last time just to face Tim Storm. Please, just once. That's all I'm asking. Then retire forever, please. Like, seriously, like, don't be 80 and still wrestling like this. Like, it's cool, but like, I'm gonna need you to stop, because like, I don't want anything to happen to you, because I love you, Terry. I think you're awesome, but you're also a crazy MFer. But anyone named Chainsaw Charlie probably isn't all right in the head. And you're probably not. Just keep yourself together, Terry, because you never know when you might need to come out of retirement, which will probably be next week. Number 3 is Doug Williams. Doug Williams, in the terms of British professional wrestling, is an icon. One of the greatest men from the UK to ever lace a pair of boots. This guy is just a good wrestler. It's like, just like, shoot. Like, I don't even care who you face it could be against. Gilbert. I don't care. And when you're talking about the World's Heavyweight Championship, that means, you know, world. As in, you gotta travel, buddy. Carry yourself over the lake, over the pond, and you might have to go wrestle Doug Williams in some British armory. And like, let me know. Might need Fly Delta. But with that said, if you are a world's champion and you want to make this title exactly what it was before, then buddy, you better make sure your bag is clean, because you're going through TSA. You gotta travel overseas and you gotta wrestle the British guy. Do it. Number 2 probably won't happen. Just let me dream, alright? In the terms of the word dream, it makes sense. American Dream, Dustin Rhodes. Or are you about to say Dusty Rhodes? Like, don't mean to tell you this, but no, what kind of person do you think I am? No, I'm talking about his kids. Dusty Rhodes was an incredible wrestler, and he had some incredible kids that know how to wrestle too, and they are currently wrestling. It was says in your dad's honor, like wrestling the NWA World Champion. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes. Could Dustin Rhodes or Goldust actually face Tim Storm? I don't really know. Maybe if he left WWE, he probably could. Maybe WWE would sign off on it. I highly doubt it. It's my list, let me dream. But in the terms of him facing Cody Rhodes, now that is actually a possibility. Now Cody Rhodes is actually bringing back that old school wrestling feel of like the guy showing up in a suit every day with sunglasses every now and then, carrying his world title kind of like this, like a baby. And to me, you have the NWA World Championship. There's a Rhodes in the match. You can't tell me otherwise. It's gonna sell tickets. Tim Storm versus Cody Rhodes. Now Cody Rhodes is also another guy that can adapt to any style. If he needs to wrestle a slower type of feel, then he will definitely probably wrestle that. If he needs to wrestle like Ricochet or something, I bet he probably could. Now again, this would be champion versus champion, kind of like what I just said before. Maybe this could be after Cody Rhodes drops the world title. Think about it, if anyone could take the title off of Tim Storm, Cody Rhodes is a very good option. And even in terms of Dustin Rhodes facing him, I mean, again, it probably won't happen because WWE, but if WWE actually signed off on it, like Triple H is just like, I'm in a really good mood, I'm just gonna let this happen. And it's just like a cool moment, because like Dusty Rhodes was such a great champion, and then you have your 2 sons, they're incredible wrestlers, and then they wrestle for the same title that you once held, and it's like full circle, just like full freaking circle. And number 1, I know this will probably not happen, but like, I want this to happen. Leave me alone. My list, you clicked on the video, you're gonna watch it. Number 1 is Daniel Bryan. Yeah, I went there. That's a fantasy booking. It's just a coincidence I put on this shirt. This looks like a plan, didn't I? In all honesty, if anyone should be taking that title off of Tim Storm and will represent a company that once was the end-all of professional wrestling, Daniel Bryan is the guy for that. 1, the guy is just an incredible wrestler. 2, he has the most incredible reaction when it comes to fans and popping and cheering. It's like merchandise, all that stuff. And 3, he kind of just looks good with the belt. Don't act like you never had your little wrestling figures and stuff. You put like a title they never won on that guy. It's like, oh, you know, Randy Orton kind of looks cool with that US title. In all honesty, I want you to really think about it. There's actually a possibility of this maybe happening. Also, his retirement speech, learn how to do on Terry Funk, actually had me tearing up, you know? He said all he wanted to do was fly. What do I say to that, man? It's just like, teared up a little bit. Don't act like he did. I teared up. I love Daniel Bryan. He's my guy. And think about Daniel Bryan being the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Like 99.8% of people like Daniel Bryan. 0.2, screw off. But yeah, guys, that's the video. If you really enjoyed, in the comments down below, tell me, who do you think should be the next NWA World's, don't forget to ask, Heavyweight Champion? If that is Tommy Dreamer, if that is Madness. But yeah, guys, that's the video. If you really enjoyed, make sure to tweet all those wrestlers about this video and stuff, because I actually really want all these matches to happen. I know there's at least 1 guy on this video that you guys like agree with. So tweet it to those guys, maybe they'll see it. Make sure to like, comment, share, and always subscribe, and we out.